Hi friends, this is Miss Michelle, and I am going to read a story to you today. I am reading Actual Size, and Actual Size was written by Steve Jenkins. He's the author of the book. That means he wrote the words on the pages. And this book is fascinating because the pictures are the actual size of the animals, different body parts. So let's see some of the animals in this story. This is our first animal. This is called an Atlas moth. And a moth is kind of like a butterfly, but they're a little different. And it says the Atlas moth is so large that it is often mistaken for a bird. So it looks like a bird because it's so big. Did you ever look at a giant squid? Have you shaken hands with a gorilla or been face to face with a tiger? All of the animals in this book are shown at actual size, so you can see how you measure up to creatures both large and small. So there's our big Atlas moth. And then here at the bottom of the page, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see this little teeny tiny fellow right there? That is a fish, and it's called a dwarf goby. And it is the smallest fish in the world. And let me show you in comparison to my little finger right here. Look at that. He's teeny tiny, smaller than my finger. The giant squid lives deep in the ocean where its enormous eyes help to see in dim light. So this is the eyeball of a giant squid. See my eyes? I have big eyes, but not as big as this. The Alaskan brown bear the Alaskan brown bear is the largest meat-eating animal that lives on land. And this is his head. It's so big that it takes 2 pages. Here's his nose, his eyes, and the rest of his head. Let's see. I think his head is much bigger than mine. Here's another picture. This is the head of an ostrich. And there's an ostrich egg. And it says, here is the largest bird, an ostrich with its egg. And ostriches are 9 feet tall, way taller than me. Miss Michelle is only 5'5", so an ostrich is taller than me, way taller. In fact, I think ostriches are taller than even the tallest person. A 2-foot-long tongue. This must be a giant anteater snacking on its favorite food, termites. So this is a giant anteater. And look how long his tongue is. Just in comparison, this is the electrical cord to my computer. And you see how long it is? That's how long that tongue is. So let's put it up to my mouth. And let's see if my tongue is as long as that. Which is longer? Miss Michelle's tongue or this? If you said this, you're correct. So that is how long this anteater's tongue is. He can snack on a lot of ants with that tongue. The Goliath bird-eater tarantula is big enough to catch and eat birds and small animals. This is a giant tarantula. A tarantula is a very big spider. And this one happens to eat birds. Can you imagine a spider big enough to eat a bird? Miss Michelle does not want to see that in her house, because I'm afraid of spiders. So if I see a spider that big in my house, yeah, I'm probably moving. He can have the house. I don't need it. The saltwater crocodile is the world's largest reptile, and it's a man-eater. That means it will eat people. So you don't want to get too close to this big crocodile because he might eat you. Look how big his teeth are. Look how big his head is. The Goliath frog lives in Africa. It's big enough to catch and eat birds and rats. So this is a giant frog. And he eats birds and rats. That's a big frog. This is too close to a great white shark. Now, the great white shark is so big, he was too big to fit in this book. So they just put his mouth and all his teeth. See those huge teeth? Look at this, bigger than my finger. The huge gorilla and the pygmy mouse lemur both have hands a lot like ours. See my hand? I have 5 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, look at this gorilla's hand. That's how big the gorilla's hand actually is. Now let's see. I'm going to put my hand up to it. Look. Who's bigger, my hand or the gorilla's? That's right, the gorilla's hand is much bigger. And there's the little lemur. Can you see his little hands? His hand has 5 fingers just like ours, but much smaller. The Siberian tiger is the biggest of the big cats. He was too big to fit in this book, but there's his massive head. Massive is another word for very, 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 very big. And that's our Siberian tiger friend. The Goliath beetle is the world's heaviest insect. There's the Goliath beetle. He's really, really heavy for bugs. Bugs aren't usually very heavy, but this one is. The rare giant walking stick is the world's longest stick. I'm sorry, the longest insect. So this is a giant walking stick. There's his head. Here's the rest of his body. And he is over 22 inches long. That's bigger than my foot. I wonder what size shoe he would fit in. And this foot belongs to the largest land animal, the African elephant. Look how big his foot is. That's just 1 foot. Almost looks like a tree trunk. The end. So which one of those was your favorite animal or insect to learn about? I know which one I don't like, and that's that giant spider. That tarantula, he was not my favorite because I'm afraid of spiders. I hope you enjoyed this story. See you next time.